Okay, former FBI Director James Comey sat before Congress on yesterday. I'll give you a couple of my takeaways, and we'll talk about what I believe is going to happen from this point going forward. One, in a nutshell, James Comey basically said that he did, in fact, tell Donald Trump on a couple occasions that Donald Trump, was not personally under investigation, although his campaign was and people around him was, as far as any collusion with Russians. So far, there has not been found to be any collusion with Russia. Uh, Russia has been determined to have interfered with our elections, WikiLeaks, shooting propaganda and all that sort of thing. But as of now, there's not a connection between Trump and Russia. That's there. However, Comey does believe that he was let go or fired because of his investigation with Russia. Comey had a private conversation with the president that Comey did not want to have, where the president asked him to kind of let things go as far as Flynn was concerned. Flynn was the national security advisor. Trump didn't want anything further to come of that, and he kind of asked your boy, could he just kind of let it go? Comey felt that was inappropriate, although he didn't in fact just say that, and that's one of the issues I had with Comey. Guy 6'8", he's an FBI director, he got a 10-year term. If something like that is making you uncomfortable, man up and tell the president, yo, dude, I don't think we should be talking about this, and leave it at that, and then leave. I know he's the president. You get fired anyway, so just tell him straight up. Trump ended up firing him, in my opinion, because one, yeah, he wanted the Russian thing to end, but two, he didn't try. He didn't have any respect for your boy. He thought he was a punk. Let him go. I don't think. Can you imagine Trump firing Edgar Hoover? Can you imagine Edgar Hoover being in that room with Trump and Trump asking him about letting something go? I know Hoover had his other issues off on the side, but I don't think that happens. So Trump let your boy go because one, yeah, he wanted this to squash, but two, he didn't respect him. But as far as what's going to happen to Trump, a couple of things. One, that could be construed as obstruction of justice, but only if in 2018 the Democrats win the House. So everything's going to really boil down to who wins the House in 2018. Because if the Democrats win, investigation is going to continue going, and that situation there could get blown up into something where you can get impeachment on an obstruction of justice charge. I say that because this is kind of similar to what happened in the 90s with Bill Clinton and Whitewater and Monica Lewinsky. For you millennials out there who were babies at that time, the whole Monica Lewinsky thing started out of a Whitewater investigation. Whitewater was some real estate deal that was happening in the state of Arkansas. I think somebody did end up getting a prison sentence for their role in something. But Bill Clinton was investigated, but nothing was ever found linking him to anything. It was all conjecture and all that kind of stuff. Kind of like what people on the right are talking about the Russian deal today. Where's the crime? I'm hearing people like Charles Cartenham and Sean Hannity say. Well, that's the same thing that was going on with Whitewater. You had the special counsel come in and do all that digging and searching. Ultimately, they found nothing about Whitewater. Stumbled onto a Monica Lewinsky, an affair, which though seamy can be, you can say it was gross and all that kind of stuff, improper, you could argue that, but there's nothing illegal about it. It didn't become illegal until Ken Starr asked Donald Trump under oath if he's having an affair. And not Donald Trump, excuse me, Bill Clinton if he's having an affair. Bill Clinton does what any man does when he's caught. He's going to lie. No, I hadn't had an affair. That became the basis of the impeachment, lying under oath. Didn't have anything to do with Whitewater. So you fast forward to today, Donald Trump and Russia. Me personally, I don't think that Donald Trump sat down with the Russians beforehand and said, you know what? I want to win this thing. What can we do? Let's work together. Don't think it happened that way. I don't even think Donald Trump has those type of complex thoughts. I really don't. I think what most likely happened is that the Russians was going to interfere in the elections regardless, just because they could. We're a free society. We got freedom of speech and all that good stuff. Kind of easy for, somebody to come in and start manipulating things. And I think that once Donald saw WikiLeaks coming out trashing Hillary and they're not messing with him, hey, I think he encouraged it through some of his talks. He said, hey, Russia, you got something on 30,000 emails, put it out. Not him working with them. I truly don't believe that. And I don't think that any investigation is going to find that type of connection. I think what most likely happened is, as far as Donald Trump and the Russians is concerned, there were a lot of banks wasn't leaning Donald Trump money because Donald Trump had a bad habit of stiffing people. So banks got a little leery about loaning him money. They saved his ass back in the 80s when all those deals were going. And then Donald Trump acted like he came out and did something miraculous to get out of that mess when really the banks kind of helped him out. So banks are real leery about loaning him money. Russian banks weren't, though. And so, but there wasn't anything illegal about going and getting money from Russian banks. In fact, if you go back and look, his sons even brag about, hey, we get financed through Russia. Nothing illegal about it. They weren't even ashamed about it, just a matter of business. But come to the end of 2016, and our CIA, our undercover people find out that the Russians were, in fact, interfering in the election. Donald Trump knows he got business dealers in Russia. Options don't look right. He don't know where it's going. I don't like the way that's looking. So let me back away from Russia. Not because he did anything illegal, but because it's something that could be potentially embarrassing, and he didn't want that part of it. So I think that all the stuff with Donald Trump, it's not about, now he might have some tape about some hookers, and I know about the pen on the bed and all that kind of stuff. That may or may not be true. I don't think that's what's driving it so much. But I do think that Donald Trump stepping away from Russia has more to do with something that was an embarrassment more so than something that was illegal. The problem is, if you have an obstruction of justice, if you're getting your FBI director to go another way to save you from embarrassment, and you ultimately end up firing him, you can create a crime where before there was none. And it only becomes a crime if in 2018, the House becomes Democratic. Because the House Democrats are the only ones going to push it. Republican Democrats are not. That's why everybody on the right wants this thing to stop. Everybody on the left wants this thing to go. Because we are in a partisan world right now, whether you like it or not. There's no true justice. Whitewater, Monica Lewinsky, Bill Clinton getting impeached wasn't justice. And what's going on right now with Trump won't be justice. Now, you can dislike Donald Trump. He says a lot of crazy stuff, right? I get that. But it doesn't necessarily mean he's done something illegal. He's brash. He's he's uncouth. He's all those things. I get all that. But whether or not he did something illegal, I don't think you're going to find anything. But you can make something up to get an impeachment. You can get that if the House becomes blue in 2018. So that's my take on it. Peace.